The lamest thing you can do as a human being, or the top 3 lamest things you can do, is stop being friends with someone because of their political beliefs. I hate people who are like, oh yeah, you're a Republican? I'm not gonna be friends with you anymore. Yeah, you know, you're a horrible person. No, dude, don't do that. Don't be like that. Don't be the guy to be like, oh yeah, you're a lib? I don't mess with you no more. Like, dude, you can still be friends with someone and disagree politically.
Well, we could have different political opinions, but we could still be friends. See, here's the thing. Your opinions about politics and policies aren't just opinions. They're a reflection of your morality. They're a reflection of who you are as a person. Now, we can have a difference of opinion on, if you like coffee. We can disagree on how money is spent in the government. That's a difference of opinion. But when your opinion is women should not have the right to their own bodies, that's not just an opinion. That goes deeper to the core of who you are as a person. And that core is rotten. Like me personally, I don't think we should be deploying an untrained military force within the United States and giving them free range to kill people. And some people disagree with that. Some people think that these officers should be allowed to shoot and kill whoever they want. But that's just their opinion. We can still be friends, yeah, right? We can still be friends. Your core is rotten.
We can disagree and still be friends. We can disagree and still be friends. Y'all sound dumb when you say that. Y'all have to know how dumb you sound when you say that. We can disagree and still be friends is a phrase that only applies to things that don't directly impact people's lives. Pizza toppings, TV shows, Marvel characters, colors, NFL football teams. Those are all things that we can disagree on and still be friends. But you thinking that the LGBTQ plus community shouldn't have basic human and civil rights isn't just you having a difference of opinion. You're just hateful. You're just a bigot. You believing that black people should be seen as a threat anywhere we go isn't having a difference of opinion. You're just hateful. You're just a bigot. You believing that women shouldn't have control over their own bodily autonomy isn't having a difference of opinion. You're just a piece of shit. Sorry, my bad. A bigot and hateful. A lot of y'all need to come to terms with the fact that this is no longer just about politics. This is about the lives of marginalized groups of people. And I refuse to be friends with somebody who thinks that mine shouldn't exist.
If a friend of yours is willing to cut you off over politics without even first trying to understand where you're coming from, that person was never your friend in the first place. They never liked you for you. They liked you for who they wanted you to be. The stakes are so low in this situation.
I had to do this again because the people making this argument are consistently exhibiting the same dissonance that doesn't allow them to understand where other people are coming from, while in the same breath accusing people of not understanding where they're coming from. And it's maddening. Like, your friends get where you're coming from, and that's the issue. It's not that they had this romantic vision of who they wanted you to be. It's that they were confused fundamentally as to who you actually are, that you are willing to put your politics over their value as friends and human beings. And while we're on that note, let's stop conflating your politics and fucking morals. Those are not the same thing. Somebody who deems it necessary to cut somebody out of their lives, who is not valuing them as human beings and is willing to vote for the lower cost of cheese over their fundamental human rights in America, is perfectly justified in making that fucking decision. Okay? I hope this helps.
The 2024 election was no longer just about politics. It was about morality, human rights, dignity, and what kind of a society we should live in. People don't want to associate themselves with someone who thinks racism and the threat of human rights isn't a deal breaker. So let's get to see more. Please like and help the video and let me know that's in the comments, alright?
Oh, but we could disagree and still be friends. Yeah, about whether pineapple belongs on pizza, not whether brown people are humans or not. We could disagree about politics, not basic human rights, not the systemic destruction of entire communities all over the world. Oh, but some people don't believe in women's rights and LGBTQ and black rights. Some people actually think slavery was great and that it should be brought back and their opinion should be respected. Fuck no! Every day we see oppressed peoples under threat of having their protections and rights stripped away from them, the same ones that they risked their lives and fought for. Every day we see people in power trying to take that away from them. Denying others' humanity is not just an opinion. We can't simply just agree to disagree on some shit like that. The only discussion we can have with other people about basic human rights is a discussion of how we can ensure that everyone has them. That is the only acceptable discussion.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Friendships are absolutely political. You want to know why? Because I left a doomsday cult and I lost all of my friends because of it. And then only a few years later, I lost more friendships from high school, including my best friend, because they wouldn't talk about things that mattered, one of which at the time was Palestine. So I messaged said best friend and I said, hey, when you don't talk about a genocide that's happening in real time, it makes me feel like you wouldn't stand up for me if I needed it. And she said, well, I just don't use my social media for political stuff. And that conversation was the end of our friendship. We never spoke again. We're not friends anymore. Because I don't want to be friends with spineless, cowardly people. I grew up in the Bay and I am well aware of what everyone here thinks success is and having all your shit together. I don't give a fuck about that. I care about if I can respect you, if I can rely on you to help the most vulnerable people who need it. I can have a successful friend who went to an Ivy League school, but finding someone who I can truly respect, someone who has true moral character, that's rare.
You can be friends with someone who has a different opinion. Yeah, opinions like albums, TV shows, and movies, not basic human rights.
I completely agree. Human rights aren't just a difference of opinions. But I kind of find your statement to be ironic considering that you happen to be on the same side that supports abortion. Many people that identify as pro-choice will say, if you don't like abortions, don't have one. They believe that whether a woman chooses to have an abortion or not is no different from whether someone has a preference towards a certain ice cream flavor. And that could be more wrong. Choosing to have an abortion isn't just a personal preference, as abortion ends the life of an innocent human being by suffocating, vacuuming, or dismembering that child in the womb, thus ultimately depriving the child of its own right to life. And that's why abortion needs to be illegal. So it is wrong to act like you have a monopoly on human rights when your side supports abortion, an act that has ended the life of well over 1 billion human beings worldwide and may possibly be the worst genocide to ever exist.
If you don't agree with abortion, just don't get one. If you don't support gay marriage, have a straight marriage. If you don't support trans people, don't transition. It's that simple. Your personal beliefs are not someone else's restriction. Nobody is forcing you to do these things. The issue is the people that oppose these things think that their personal beliefs gives them a right to take away that option from others. Why should you get to decide what another person does with their own body or their life? Allowing something to exist is not forcing you to participate in it. However, banning it forces everyone else to live by your beliefs. The people advocating for gay marriage or abortion or trans rights don't expect everyone else to engage in this. We're not expecting everyone to be gay and get abortions and transition. We just want the people that do to have the option to if they want to. I also have no problem with someone that wants to live a traditional religious lifestyle, live on a farm and have 5 kids, whatever. I don't expect you to change your lifestyle if that's what you want to do. But when it comes to the reverse, they want to take away anyone's ability to even have a choice when it comes to their marriage or their body or their gender. One is the freedom to choose and the other one is being forcibly restrictive. True freedom comes from accepting the fact that other people will make choices that you don't agree with, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to agree with everyone. You never will. But just because you don't like something doesn't mean that you can stop them from doing it. Just don't do it yourself. I don't like this, therefore nobody should be allowed to do it is a ridiculously childish argument. We are advocating for freedom of choice while you're advocating for control. You don't have to like abortion or gay people or trans people, but you don't get to take away someone's option to choose just because you don't like it.
I keep seeing Republicans, conservatives say, why would you end friendships over political differences? We can still be friends and have different opinions. And I really thought about this because I think like 10 years ago, that was true. I think you could have different opinions on policies and still be friends, but not anymore, and not on topics like this. I don't think it's a political difference anymore. I think it's a fundamental morality issue. And so I just want to be really clear. If you believe in mass deportation of illegal immigrants, if you believe in the removal of DEI initiatives, if you believe that Trump was right to pardon violent offenders from the January 6th Capitol attack, if you believe that the government should get to decide who you marry, the books you read, the religion that you practice, if you believe that eliminating the Equal Employment Opportunity Order of 1965, if you believe that the government should control women's reproductive rights, and if you defend Elon Musk after doing a Nazi salute not once, but twice in front of our presidential seal, we are not friends. Freedom should not be reserved for a specific group of people within America. I know that I'm on the right side of history, and I just hope that the damage that's done in the next 4 years is not irreparable to both our country and the people in it. And so I just wanted to make that abundantly clear.
The reason that Republicans are the only people that make the argument that I can still be friends with people even though they have differing views is because the people with the differing views don't have views that hurt people. They are okay still being friends with liberals and Democrats because our morals and values don't hurt other people. So they can still be friends with us because they know that we're not bad people. And then they get mad when we can't do the same. But your morals and views hurt people. They hurt people that we care about. So it's always funny to me when I hear people say that, and I'm like, yeah, of course you can still be friends with me. I'm not a bad person.
Christian or not, there is no reason why people should be unfriending or unfollowing people because of their political views. I've posted videos, and I am guilty to it because I have been told to speak the truth no matter what other people may say. And honestly, the amount of hate I've had is way more than I expected, especially from hometown friends and people that I know from surrounding counties. Even on TikTok, people love to comment their opinion, which is completely okay because you know what? We are all entitled to our own opinion. Obviously, the people of America knew that Kamala was not the right fit for our country. Mocking God, allowing men and women's restrooms, women and men's restrooms, saying yes to abortions, and so many other things. And a lot of people figured that out and voted for Trump. I know a lot of people are going to think this is controversial, but as a Christian, we have been told to speak the truth no matter what. And me posting my videos is not me asking you to believe what I say. It's me speaking and voicing what I know is honestly so true.
You shouldn't stop talking to people just because of politics. That's what some people say, but not me. You are grown. You can stop being friends with somebody because you don't like how their toenails grow. That's your business. And what's funny to me is the same folks screaming freedom get all upset when you exercise your freedom. Now they tell you you doing too much. No, you are doing exactly enough. Freedom doesn't mean you owe access. Freedom means I get to choose who I want to sit next to, who I talk to, and who I share my space with. If your values are about mocking disabled people, bragging about touching women because they'll just let you do it if you're famous, or cheering while people get locked in cages, and mines don't, yeah, the relationship is over. That's not politics, y'all. It's about character. And anybody that's trying to guilt you into staying connected to nonsense, they're just manipulative by proxy. Have you kept relationships that you knew you should have got rid of a long time ago? Let's talk about it, because I want to know.
You don't get mad at people after they cut you off when you voted for shit that directly harms them. I wear green shirts. If you vote in support of the, people who wear green shirts can't get married policy, fuck you. But we can have different politics and still be friends. No, motherfucker, we must have different definitions of friends, because your politics are based on your morals. And you're a harmful fucking person.
When I say that we need to normalize ending friendships over politics, I'm not saying that because I want to debate, right? I'm not saying that because I'm really curious about your perspective and why you think that we shouldn't normalize it. No, baby, I don't think you're a good person. I don't like you. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to associate myself with you. When I say that we need to normalize ending friendships over politics, it's because you're infringing on my rights, my friends' rights, my family's, my chosen family, my loved ones. Like, I think y'all just don't get it. And y'all are like, but we could still be friends and we're more divisive and no, you literally are not getting the point. We are not the same. I don't want to be friends. It's not like, oh, hey, maybe we could talk. No, there's no more talking, baby. You are the ones who are literally trying to hold us down with your foot on our throat, being like, I'm sorry you can't breathe, but maybe we could just like get some food or something or talk about why you can't breathe very well. If you could just talk it to me about why. No, there's no more talking. There's no more. We're not friends. I don't want to be associated, so leave me alone. Stop trying to gaslight me and justify your racism, you fucking crazy.
Maybe this is a hot take, but you don't owe anybody friendship. People say it's immature to cut people off over a difference of political opinion. Why? You can have standards in your friendships. You can say, I don't want to be friends with you unless you align with me politically. That's just a boundary. That's perfectly fine. You can have any boundary in the world. It doesn't matter. You can say, I only want to be friends with people who like the same colors as me. I only want to be friends with people who have the same hobbies as me. That's perfectly fine. I don't understand why this is such an issue.
Yeah, I totally agree. Friendship requires trust and some basic level of respect. Friendship is all about caring about the well-being of one another. So if you support and vote for policies that threaten my rights or the rights of the people I love, I may no longer consider you as my friend. You see, I may no longer believe that you care about my well-being, and that changes the relationship because once trust is gone, friendship cannot survive. And to the people saying that politics shouldn't come in between friendship, they are completely wrong because politics is our way of life. Politics determine whether we can access healthcare, whether children can grow up feeling safe, whether people can be protected from discrimination, and whether people can have the same equal rights as everybody. So, it's no longer just about politics. It is my life. And you cannot demand someone to remain emotionally close to you while still supporting policies that are harmful to them. Human rights are non-negotiable for too many people. When you vote for someone who is actively against that, people see it as being immoral and inhumane. To many people, racism is a boundary. Bigotry is a boundary. Dehumanizing other people is a boundary, you know? And the people have the right to decide what kind of behavior and values they are going to accept into their relationship. People are ending friendship over political beliefs because those beliefs reflect your morals and people have some standards. Your vote revealed something deeper about morality, compassion, equality, and human dignity. So I hope Trump voters are getting it because they are being spoon-fed this information. So I hope they get it this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.